don't know why. I'm outside walking, not underneath buildings or a UFO or anything, so let's see if it gets better now. Let's see. Give it a minute. Give it a minute here. Let's see. But I was talking about, my question for the day is, should the Yankees DFA or release Devin Williams? Right? And which makes more sense? And do they wait until Fernando Cruz comes back from the IL as the corresponding move? We're going to move on from this guy. Might as well have somebody we can replace him with, right? And again, let me know if you think this makes sense to you. And let me know if you can hear me better now. Let me know if you can hear me better. A better reception now. Okay. So, again, I gotta give a shout out to the people in the chat last night, post-game chat. Is that better, Jonathan? Thank you. I was having some, I don't know why. I'm out here. There's nothing around me. No idea. Had to give a shout out to people in the chat last night who asked, like, do they DFA Devin Williams when Fernando Cruz comes back? And it's a legitimate question, right? And I wanted to take it a step further and I ask, does it make more sense to release him instead of DFAing him? Like they did with Marcus Stroman. They didn't DFA Stroman, they just released him. They did DFA DJ LeMahieu, and then they wound up releasing him shortly thereafter. With Devin Williams, it's unfortunate. Look, he's a good pitcher. And he was an elite closer before this year. One of the best in baseball. But unfortunately, just hasn't been a fit here with the Yankees. So, but releasing him might be a better idea so that he can catch on with another team and rebuild his confidence, right? And again, people can spend all the time they want blaming Boone and blaming Cashman, like so many people do for almost everything. So I'm more interested in something like this. How do we triage this? How can we make this situation better? And would it improve the, just the emotional and the mental and the stability of the bullpen by doing this? Fernando Cruz is going to be another big arm, and in the end, they signed Kenta Maeda. I don't know if he's going to come out to the majors at some point, but the fact of the matter is, like I said, I'm not letting Jason Dominguez off the hook either, okay? He should have had that play. Grisham would have had it, Bellinger would have had it, and Spencer Jones would have had it. Hands down, period. Dominguez should have had that play. Why are you playing shallow in the outfield to a guy that's hits the ball almost as hard as Giancarlo Stanton does? I don't know why he was doing that. Right? That's when you couldn't get back. And at that point, there was a run at first. That became a double. Then it became second and third, and Devin Williams walked the guy. And then he gave up that hit after like almost a 20-pitch at bat to Rowdy Tellez. He came up bloop single to center field, which scored the 2 runs that the Texas Rangers needed to win 2-0. Right? And that was the game. And like I said, people can blame all they want. It's fine. But I do think Jason Dominguez bears some of this responsibility because he should have made that freaking play. Had he made that play, the whole outcome in the inning would have been different. Right? So, but at this point, we can't fix that now. We can't change that. You just got to figure out how to move forward as best as possible. It's pointless relitigating the past. It's like people love to still relitigate the 2024 World Series. For what? Right? Well, that's the thing too. Like Devin Williams, if you DFA him, one is he going to accept the assignment? That's going to be that's going to be a shot in the pills right there, right? A dick punch and a half to the gut, to the ego, and the pride. And I get it. Or will he just decline the assignment and become an outright free agent? And if we think that's going to be the case, then just release the guy. Let him catch on somewhere else, right? Why even go through this procedure, this process? Especially when you just added 3 relievers. And like I said before, David Bednar to me is going to be, he's emerging as the next closer. Dude is a bulldog. Okay. I think he's going to be the next closer. And I think Duvall will probably be the next setup man. And I do think Jake Bird, once he gets right in AAA and did it real fast instead of letting him, struggle more. Because the fact is, and if anybody looked at the stats, and I did, the Rockies used him heavily this year. So Cubs overused Mark Leiter before he was traded to the Yankees. Mark Leiter struggled for like at least a month before he came here. And he was money in the postseason. So I'm glad that they optioned out Jake Bird now to give him an opportunity to rest and get it right? So, especially when he has 3 years of arbitration ahead of him on the cheap with the Yankees. He's a big arm. If they can figure out how to harness him effectively, I think he'll be a good 6th or 7th inning guy. And if Luke Weaver comes back, he could be the other guy. Because I don't think Luke Weaver is going to overtake David Bednar as a closer. But that's a nasty bullpen. And again, in this situation, it's probably addition by subtraction. The bullpen got better by subtracting this guy, adding this one, and so on and so forth, right? So this to me is a more sensible move. So I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about that. Yeah, Bednar becomes the new closer. Even if it's not until next year, fine. If you want to stick with Luke Weaver this year, fine. Or transition Bednar a little bit this year, fine. But I think he is of all the guys that they brought in, he has the temperament and the stuff to be the next closer. And dude is a bulldog. He breathes fire through his nose, man. He's absolutely bulldog. That's the type of guy I want as a closer, right? So, but that's just me. It's just me. You guys let me know what you think before I get inside. Jake Bird has nasty breaking stuff. And again, he's got to work on his secondary pitches, his third pitches as well, right? And again, this is the time to do it in the minors. And transitioning from altitude where he was to sea level is a different transition too. And again, they put him in the extra inning situation the other day when he gave up that walk-off home run to Josh Jung. You have to change the way you pitch when you're coming in and you're already inheriting a runner on second. That's why a lot of the pitchers have to already pitch from the stretch instead of a full windup when they come in and guys are on base. It changes the way they pitch. So, and especially when you're not the home team, it's also a different attack too. When we're the away team, and if the Yankees are 0-6 in away in extra innings, they're 3-0 at home in extra innings. So perfect record at home, perfect record of futility on the road in extra. Yep. Yeah. Well, Caskets, that's why, I'm just asking questions. How can we solve some problems instead of dwelling on what everybody else dwells on? All right? It's the same ranting and complaining and trashing people every day. Fire this problem without offering any credible solutions. So many people do it every single day. I don't want to be like them. I invite us to figure out how can we solve the pieces of the puzzle, right? That to me is a better use of our time than sitting here. Doesn't mean people can't vent. People can vent. I don't block people for venting. I don't block people for disagreeing with me either. Okay? But how can we, good morning, people. Now, I'm going to go inside in a minute, so I got to get kids ready for camp. And I got a business lunch today, too. No. Well, At the time, trading Nestor Cortez and Caleb Durbin to walk to the Brewers for Devin Williams was a killer trade for the Yankees. And who would have thought that the guy with 3 consecutive seasons at sub-2 ERA of elite pitching would have turned into this with the Yankees? Nobody would have thought. It's clear it's not a fit here. Okay, fine. But can't only blame... Why are we going to blame Cashman for that? Why are we going to blame Boone for that? Nobody thought it was going to happen. Right? And again, like I give Boone credit for giving him the opportunity to kind of right the ship, trying to figure out how to do it. And before last night, he was good in tie games. So I said the other day, please don't bring him in with a 1-run lead. Make sure the lead's either massive or it's a tie game. That's when he tends to pitch better. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case last night. But again, like I said, Jason Dominguez bears some responsibility for this last night too. Right? Yeah, you do that trade. Yeah, exactly, I'm tough. You do that trade 10 out of 10 times. Yeah. It's Boone for using. Again, they kept looking to the what do you call it, the bullpen. Doesn't look like Leiter was ready. Look like Bednar was ready yet. But he wanted to give Williams an opportunity to get out of it. And there's no guarantee that if he brought in someone else, that would have been fixed, right? So. Yeah, we were thrilled when it happened. I agree with that. I remember I was live when it happened. We reported it live. Like I said, I don't think hyping Dominguez through the roof did him any favors. He's always been somewhat average or deficient defensively. Always. Right? That's a fact. I don't care what anybody says. Stats don't lie. He's been better this year, but that's a play you make last night. You have to make. And you got to have your pitchers back with those types of plays. Hello, India. Inspector. Hello, India's in the house. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Allergies are killing me. My God. But yeah. Well, Roman Anthony's not there yet. He's the number one prospect in baseball, but he's not playing like the number one prospect in baseball, so. Thank you, Gaskets. So, this is where I think it'd be a good idea. If they call up Spencer Jones, I don't think it'll happen until September because it doesn't make any sense. At this point, it doesn't make any sense to blow through a whole entire year pre-arb, which triggers once you get 130 at-bats, which would happen if you call him up now. And the Yankees are not, he's not the missing piece right now. They still have issues. They got to fix the bullpen. They need more length from the starters. He solves none of those problems. He's a batter. He's a hitter. He's a defensive. He's a outfielder. He doesn't solve pitching problems. Thank you. Thank you, Javi. But I'm going to leave you with that question right now. I'm going to go inside. Think about that, please. And we'll come back later. We'll talk about it. I invite you to think about this. How can we make this part of the team better right now? How can we? Because we got to stop the bleeding, man. That's a fact. We got to stop the bleeding. Right, Steven? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, good for Jason Dominguez. Doesn't excuse his defense. All right. But who's hitting 283 with 828 OPS and 1.8 WAR? Was that Dominguez? Oh, Roman Anthony. Okay, good for Roman Anthony. Good for Roman Anthony. Looks like sending him down did him some good. All right. Some work to do. No, definitely not. So, think about these questions. Let's talk about this later. Have a good day, gang. Go Yankees.